Hi, I'm Alex, and we're going to talk about Dr. Knizia's Escalation, a little card game released by Z-Man Games many moons ago. It's hard to find this now. Recently, I found some brand new copies of this on eBay, but it's a game that's hard to find. I also have a copy here from Japan. Same game, but I'll show you this in a minute. Basically, Escalation is a card game, and there are a couple of special cards. And what happens is it's called Escalation because when your opponent plays like a 3, you have to beat it. You have to play a number higher than 3, otherwise you have to take the stack. So it's pretty simple. Now there are a couple of special cards. This is like, oh, you see the glare? Yeah, they're sleeved. You better believe they're sleeved. Can't find this game. I have a couple of copies of the game here, but yeah, these, I don't sleeve a lot of things, but this game I had to sleeve. But anyway, this is like a wild, so it could be a card from 1 to 7, any card. And this is basically a pass card. So if somebody plays a big card like the 13 and you can't beat it, you just pop the pass right on top of it. And if they can't beat the 13 they originally put down, because this essentially becomes a 13, right? You pass, and then it's your opponent's turn, and they have to beat it, or they have to take the stack. Now, there's a lot of cards, so at the end of the game is whoever has the least amount of cards wins. What's interesting about this game too, and by the way, there's not going to be a lot of strategy, a lot of tactics. This is just sort of a fun, as they say, beer and pretzels sort of card game. But what's neat is, for instance, the number 4 here, you can play multiples of the same number. So if somebody puts down a 7, and you have these 2 4s, you can play both of these 4s as an 8. Okay? So let me show you a couple of the other cards. That's upside down. There you go. So it's kind of, it's kind of neat art to it. I showed you that before. Showed you that. What's going on here? Anyway, you got, there's your neighbor, 12. That's a high number card and very useful in this game. But, before I go on, let me read the flavor text. Escalation. Man, it is tiny. Look at that. The instructions are here. Suburbia, manicured lawns, homogeneous homes, and the festering hatred of your neighbors. It's war, and things heat up as the weapons escalate in order to keep up and surpass the Joneses. That is, until one suburbanite survives. The player with the least amount of cards in the end wins. And you're supposed to play as many rounds as there are players. So if there's 3 people playing, you play 3 rounds. But the Japanese version of Escalation comes with this little booklet here. Now, obviously, you don't need this. You can use a regular piece of paper. But, when I play, I'll play 6 rounds. I'll play 6 rounds of this. And it kind of balances out the luck, But there's a little bit you can do with this game. Like I mentioned earlier, you can play multiples. So let's say you have a hand of cards that are... let me show you the Japanese cards. There they are. A little more colorful, right? By the way, there's only 1/1 in the deck. This is the pass. This is the same as... Oops, I dropped it. It's the same as this one, right? And there's the wild, 1 through 7. Here it is in there. But there's one thing you can do, right? Because let's say you get a hand of cards, you're supposed to get 6 cards, right? And you keep drawing up. So if you play 2 of them, 2, it has to be equal cards, right? If you're going to play more than one. Let's say somebody puts down a 5, and you put, and you have a lot of small cards in your hand. Maybe you have 3 2s, a couple of 3s, a couple of 4s. well, that's 7 cards, but you get my point. It's good to get rid of those cards. Now, you don't have to play a card. You can just decide to take the stack. And there's a little bit, there's an advantage in starting first. When you take the stack, then you begin the next round, and that's how you get rid of your small number of cards. But in this case, let's say you have 2 2s, 2 3s, and 2 4s. That's a terrible hand, and somebody plays a 3. Well, don't play one of your 4 cards. Just play 2 2s. Get rid of those 2s, because then you're drawing 2 cards back up, and that will help you maybe get a better hand of cards. So, like I said, not a lot of strategy, not tactics, nothing like that. But it's been a pretty fun game to play. Recently, I went to Marco Island. I live here in Florida, South Florida. I went to Marco Island, a nice house there by the water, and we played this a ton of times. It was a lot of fun. And I'm a fan of Knizia. Knizia has 1,000 games. Here's Crisscross. This is okay. Zero is kind of a neat card game. I kind of prefer playing Escalation. You guys remember this one? Oh, you can't find this anymore. This is a great game. And of course you have this. I love this. I'll be talking about this at some point. Ingenious. Great abstract strategy game. A lot of fun. And look what my brother brought me from Germany. Oh, still shrink wrapped. I need to open it. But I love this game, and there used to be an app for Celtis, and I used to play the app all the time. But the app is gone now, and basically you have I have a copy of that board game. But that's it. Escalation, fun, goofy fun, little bit to think about, but mostly just fun.